and it was actually a Christmas session that I had with a client who really only did like a mini session with me, but what she walked away with was a 6 or 7 piece collage wall art section to put on her wall at her home.
Ooh. Welcome back, friends, to another episode of Success by Design with yours truly, Michael T. Davis. And I am here with the amazing Katrina Cross of Katrina Cross Photography. She is an amazing wedding and boudoir photographer based out of Detroit, just changing the game of empowerment and how women see themselves, and an author of 52 Love Letters, which I get those emails every week, and I absolutely love them and love the message in them. She's such a great heart, and I'm so excited to have her to share with us how she uses Fundy to be successful and how she's using it to change the lives of women and couples every day. Welcome, Katrina. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, thank you, Michael, and thanks for having me here. So again, I am Katrina Cross Daniels of Katrina Cross Photography. So I am a wedding boudoir photographer, like Michael said, based here in Detroit, and I use Fundy almost every other day. It seems like so. And I forgot, was there another question?
No, feel free to let us know. How did you get started? Like, I know a little bit about you, so I kind of know your trajectory, but all the listeners,
Okay.
like some people are just meeting you for the first time. So we would love to hear like how you got started into the industry, to where you are now, and what led you to pursue this career in photography and women empowerment. Go ahead.
Okay. So a couple things here. So I would say I started photography probably when my son was in school. He was an athlete and he played, from age 7 years old up until high school. He was always on the football and basketball team. So I was the mom with the camera. And that's where it began. And then all of a sudden, one day somebody said, "Hey, can you shoot my wedding?" And I was like, "Wedding? I don't shoot weddings." But but they were
That dreaded
willing.
question, right?
I know that first wedding that you do. And so I went from there that she was like, she was trusted in me, like she believed in me, shall I say, that I can do it and I can capture her wedding. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And so that was my intro into weddings. And believe me, it was some hiccups along along that day because I was not a wedding photographer. So I wasn't prepared properly. Like
hmm
at the time, my flashes, on camera flashes needed batteries. And I was like, my batteries was way over in my bag and the batteries went dead in the middle of the kiss.
Oh
So
no.
yes. So I got a lot of lessons out of that wedding. So it did prepare me going forward on how to be proactive and how to think before and make sure that you are, you know, thinking about what's about to happen, what's the next step. So it definitely prepared me to step into this wedding game a little bit differently. So that's how weddings began for me. And
Awesome.
I
So where was that transition into boudoir? Because like you essentially have two brands, a wedding
yes.
brand and a boudoir brand. So how did that transition into boudoir and that passion for women empowerment?
I would probably say a few years after this wedding, I did have a feeling that I wanted to capture women, right? And part of it came from, me and my own insecurities for myself, but I felt like, hey, women, deserve to be captured. And I remember my first boudoir session as well. It was before I even really thought about the boudoir name, but I did have a session with a young lady and it went okay. And then I kind of like didn't really deal with boudoir for a while until some life challenging things happened for me in my life. And after going through some rough times and some adversities within my own relationship, it made me discover like, hey, I'm missing out on me and being able to capture myself this way. And how many other women feel like because of their own insecurities that they're not, being captured. And so I decided back a couple of years ago that, this is something that I wanted to dig a little bit deeper in. And with the help of, being in the right place, right time, and having those conversations, it was discovered that, hey, I needed to tap into this. And that's what I did.
I love it. And I've actually had the pleasure of hearing you talk about this topic of adversities
Mhm.
in your own career path at the Photo Cookout last year. And I love how you started with, your weddings and your challenges with weddings and the thing that you learn, and then your own personal adversities and how that transitions you into women empowerment. How do you see the theme of adversities, and how do you communicate that to empower the people in front of your lens?
I guess how I see it is I have just my thing is we are all deserving, right? So we deserve this. We're all worthy of it. And I just felt like it should just be shared with the world. Like, a lot of women, we go silent on things. We don't discuss like our own insecurities. We just, hide away with it. And it's like, hey, no, let's change this whole narrative here. Like, let's make this more of an empowering moment instead of us trying to, keep it closed behind doors and just think about it in our heads. Like, I would love to have those beautiful images that I see other people have. And I just wanted to bring that to the table for other women. And it's been working so far. I see that empowerment happening.
Yes, I see it happening too. And like I said, I get those emails, those 52 love letters that you do, those
Yeah.
inspirational quotes and messages that you send. They are absolutely amazing. Uh, Hold on one second. Hey friends, we are back. We actually just had a little bit of technical difficulties, but now we're back with Katrina, and we were just in the middle of talking about adversities. Katrina, I would love for you to talk to us about a particular moment, a memorable or challenging moment or adversity that you had to overcome in your photography career and how you overcame that obstacle.
Ooh. Okay. That's a hard one and a story. But I guess I would probably say the main thing and what we've talked about and I've shared at the photo cookout is going through the adversity of, being married 25 years, going strong, not realizing that things were in trouble and finding out that you are hit with a divorce. So having that adversity of that unexpected divorce in the middle of wedding season,
Mm.
was really tough. So I think that was probably like the biggest adversity that I've ever had to deal with. It was in June, and I had like weddings like lined up the upcoming weeks and having to go there and shoot weddings and hear everybody's love stories when inside you are being torn apart. And a lot of things in the industry, what I found out is that people don't really talk about it. Like, I'm not the only one who's been through a divorce. I'm not the only one who's been through anything challenging that's like life changing for your family, but people don't really talk about it. And I may have found like two or three ladies in the industry that I knew had went through that. And I was able to reach out to them and just get some advice and get some support basically on dealing with it in the middle of wedding season. So, and that's what I did. And I had people that kind of helped walk me through it and push me along the way.
Well, thank you for sharing. Like that was deep. Like I wasn't ready.
It was real deep, and I just
I
said it
love
out
it.
loud for the first time last
Yeah.
year at the cookout, and so
Hmm.
yeah, so I'm saying it out loud now. So no more suffering in silence.
Yes. And the thing I love about the story that you just shared is that, it's not only that you went through something, but you actively found support in order to become a better person. Because in this industry, we always talk about support as in, how do I become a better photographer? Or what brand deals do I get? Or how do I edit better? But not support in the mental health space because, you're going through
Yeah.
this and you have weddings and all this other stuff to go through. So I think that's an amazing message that, support doesn't always come in the form of something technical or something directly related to perfecting your craft. It could come in the form of being directly related to perfecting you.
Absolutely. That support and that help, like mental health is real. And, we are all in here as entrepreneurs, running businesses, and we're real people, and we have life things that happens, during this time of being an entrepreneur. So when you're faced and you have those challenges come up against you, just being able to have the right people in place is very important. And sometimes you don't know that you have the right people in place, but when you really think about it and you see who has been there for you or you feel connected with or connected to their story. Like I'm hoping that my story also helps somebody else who may be dealing with something and feel like that they don't have anybody to reach out to. No, I'm here. Like, I wasn't in this place of, smiley Katrina as I was during the time I was going through what I went through. So it took time to get past some things to be able to stand here and be able to talk about it today. So I'm here to help anybody who feel like they're going through, rather it's, caring for family members or, going through a divorce, going through illnesses. We deal with things and we should be here to support.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, excellent message. So how has everything that you've gone through, right? You talked about your wedding journey, you talked about your boudoir journey, you talked about your mental health journey. How has this transitioned into being able to provide these products for your couples, and specifically how you have transitioned into using Fundy Designer to create imagery that empowers your couples?
And I'm saying, because I know you are kind of breaking up. Actual recording is higher. Okay, so you kind of like going in and out a little bit. I would say it affects the relationship that I have with my couples, being able to give them quality products is very important, right? So when we go through our journey of being a wedding photographer, being a boudoir photographer, and just being able to show clients what they look like in print is just the most beautiful thing that I think anybody as a photographer, can experience. When you have those reveal sessions and you hand them over those products, it's just an awesome feeling to have. And can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you
Okay.
perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, share with us about like how has Fundy helped you make any additional revenues, profits, like specific ways? Because
Okay.
you talk about having these reveal sessions, you talk about the emotional connection, and I would love to hear the concrete as to okay, like yes, I have all of this
Where
emotion and
Fundy come in.
energy with my couples and building these relationships, right? Building these important relationships, and I want them to have them on their wall. And it comes into software that allows you to do that. And how do you do that?
Yeah, the Fundy software is just simply amazing, right? To actually be able to have, I do in-person sales, right? So with my clients, like we meet and whether it's in person or over Zoom, and just to be able to show them the Fundy program where they see their album all built out, and it has been able to help me because where all of my collections, my couples get albums, right? But I make sure that I build them out to the max, so they can see what a full album look like. And then if they decide that they need to chop it down, we can deal with that then. But for the most part, it's kind of hard to deny this album once they see it in a 50, 60 page versus a 20 page. So Fundy has helped me be able to, display that to my clients, where they fall in love. I love the Fundy, the slideshow That's probably one of my favorite,
Mm-hmm.
pieces that I make sure I absolutely play a slideshow of that album. And then I also show the individual images too in that slideshow and just tell that
Mm-hmm.
story. And with the music behind it, it's like a win-win. So that's definitely how Fundy helped me generate revenue and upsell to my clients, is being able to show them in real life like what their album would look like, along with
Beautiful.
wall art
Can
too.
you?
Like a lot of they do the wall art as well.
Got you. Can you share with us a specific memorable moment of your most memorable sale or your biggest sale, and take us through that journey?
Let me see. It would probably be, well, one is not the biggest sale, but it's a memorable moment. So I'm gonna start with that one. And it was actually a Christmas session that I had with a client who really only did like a mini session with me, but what she walked away with was a 6 or 7 piece collage wall art section to put on her wall at her home.
Ooh.
So
Mm-hmm.
that was one that was memorable because it was a mini session. You didn't figure that they would actually purchase all this wall art, and she did. So that was one.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my biggest sale would be for a wedding that I did, that I was able to upgrade the wedding. It was a 60-page album, and she purchased a 3-piece wall collage. So that was
Beautiful.
probably like my biggest sale, and it was all with Fundy's help.
Awesome. That's absolutely amazing. And so, as you already know, this software has helped you and your business drastically and even helped your clients. And Fundy has a new software, the social design app, that is geared to further help you and your clients. So I know you had a chance to use it. I would love to hear your thoughts on how the social design app has helped you and your business today.
Well, the social design app, I started using it on my personal page at first, like on my Instagram, and just to be able to quickly put together a post, right? And do this, and then do it as a carousel. That has just really been able to like quickly gather, tell a story with 5 or 6 images and in a matter of minutes, right? So that's been the biggest thing. Right now, I'm also building up posts that I'm planning to put together. So I have in the back end of the program, I have collages and carousels already made, right? So I'm able to pre-design, get them ready for me, tell my stories. I do a lot of surprise engagement shoots. So to be able to tell those stories in that carousel of that surprise engagement has just been awesome. It's making a lot of other clients reach out to me about their surprise engagements, because people don't think to hire photographers for engagement sessions. The men just plan to do a session, propose to their girl, but now I'm putting it in their radar to, hey, no, actually get a photographer for that. And so it's definitely
Yeah.
helping me with that.
I love it. And I love how you talked about it's not only saving you time, but it's actually bringing you in clients as well. That is absolutely amazing.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I would love for you to share with us. We're going to get into some a little more personal questions, and then we're going to jump into my favorite segment, which is the rapid fire. So just a few more questions.
Uh-oh.
One, who has been your greatest influence or mentor in the industry, and what lessons have you learned from them?
Whew. Can you only name one?
This
I
is your
have, I,
show. If you if you want to name more people, go
well,
right ahead.
I have several mentors. I have several people that has, vested their time with me, to make sure that I am, moving along in this industry correctly, right? So I would have to say one for sure is Tamaya Colvin. She has definitely helped me with my whole back end of my business. And, the one thing about her is products has definitely been to the forefront of our our relationship, making sure the importance of products is out there for the clients. Um, I would say to Sean Jackson, he has definitely I think it was back in 2017. He really took the time to work with me one on one to help me with storytelling, right? He actually used to give me like an assignments like, hey, find somebody, like I remember I even used my daughter at one point. Like I followed her in Walmart at the store while she was getting school supplies. And I told the whole story of what that looked like through imagery of a mom going out preparing her kid for school. And so I was like, okay, I would have never just thought to do that, and I was able to tell that story. And there's others, Audrey Willard, she's definitely helped me to understand my own style. Like it's not, don't try to be like anybody else's style, create your own style and read and decide for yourself what you want to do. And Chip Dessert, like he has definitely poured into me. He's always checking in, making sure, and he tells me all the time, you are deserving of this. Don't let anybody else tell you that you're not. So, I mean, and there's a few others, Michelle Harris, but yes, I've definitely been poured into through a group of mentors.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I can
And I love
appreciate each
how
and
you,
every
you just
one of
named
them
like a
too.
whole, yeah, you just named a whole litany of people, and
Yeah.
how they poured into you. And that really circles right back into when you talked about the fact that, when you're going through tough times and you reach out for support and you have supportive people in your network. And they're not just, being able to give you valuable information as how to be a better photographer, but like I said, valuable information about how to be a better person. And I love how it just came full circle. Like the people in your life are helping you through photography. The people in your life are helping you through life, and teaching you lessons and helping you grow as a person. And I love that. I love how we just went full circle with that whole support arc. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And support is definitely important. I learned in this industry when I first began. Of course, like a lot of us are solo entrepreneurs out here, just trying to figure things out. And we're searching, we're looking for help and assistance any way we can get it. So to come across great mentors throughout your journey is very important. So I am thankful for each and every one of them. And even with Michelle, like we still meet weekly on calls, and she still pours into her community with that. So yeah, I'm thankful.
Hmm. Perfect. So this is my final question, and then we're going to jump right into the rapid fire questions. We talk about support. We talk about finding mentors that are here
Ooh.
to invest in you as a person. What advice do you have for aspiring photographers on how to find that person or people that can be their support system?
Um. Okay, so I would first probably say and finding a good support system or mentor is definitely like joining different communities out here, like photography groups. I know Tamaya has a great one, Michelle has a great group, and there's others out there too. But once you get into these groups, see who you personally connect with. Like, do you follow along with what they stand for? Like, everybody is not going to be a mentor. So you have to still have your radars up and beware out here. But look and see what the other community is saying about these people. So that'll help you decide, like, okay, this is somebody who may be able to, pour into me or help me, or I can invest in and get their support, because all mentorships are not, free. But sometimes you do get things like little gems and nuggets that come out that you don't have to pay for, and they're just willing to pour into their community. So find that, and that was probably start your path and helping you on that right journey, and then reach out to people.
That right there, ladies and gentlemen, nuggets, nuggets, nuggets on how to invest in yourself. I love that. I just love all the tips you gave people and dissecting and disseminating on to find a mentor that works best for them. Thank you. And so this is my favorite segment now. We're going to jump into the rapid fire questions. These questions are photography related and personal related. So I don't want you to think about the question. I want you to think about the answer. Just the first thing that comes to your mind. And we're going to do a few. All right. Are you buckled in? Are you ready?
I think so.
All right. All right. So we'll start with the first one. What is your favorite photography accessory?
Probably my shoot sack bag. I have a
Awesome.
bag called shoot sack, so it just straps around you. You can put your lenses in it, batteries, whatever. So
Beautiful.
yes,
If you could learn any language in a week, which would it be?
probably Spanish.
Okay. All right. What time of the day are you most inspired by?
The time of the day, probably afternoon, like around 2 p.m.
Okay. What is the most interesting thing that you've ever photographed?
Hmm. Interesting thing that I photographed. Probably, you say thing?
Yeah. Interesting
Right.
moment, thing,
Moment.
idea, happening.
Because I don't know, most things is just ideal. But what was interesting? I don't know what has been interesting for me.
All right. We can. Mhm.
Probably a moment that was shared between a four generation family at a wedding. So it was the bride, her mom was her bridal party. So the
Okay.
mother was in the bridal party. And then the grandmother and the great grandmother was there, and they just had a nice, interesting moment that was captured.
Beautiful. Beautiful. If your life was a story, what would be the title?
Mm, Probably you have overcome.
Ooh, I love it. Your dream shoot location.
I'm still waiting to get to Greece. So probably
Uh,
Greece.
Perfect. Favorite TV to watch as a child?
It's always been as a child, as an adult. The favorite thing to watch anything horror.
Okay.
So I am a horror, scary movie, Night of the Living Dead,
Mm-hmm.
Exorcist,
Beautiful, beautiful. Two
all
more
of that.
questions. Your favorite photographer other than yourself?
Favorite photographer. Probably Audrey Willard.
Beautiful. And if you could uninvent one thing, what would it be?
Unevent, invent, Crocs.
Love it. See, that wasn't so hard. That wasn't painful. I love it. I love it. So you have been an amazing guest, an amazing story. Thank you for sharing and pouring into us about your own personal adversities, how other people can find support in overcoming their adversities, and how you can transform those struggles and those challenges into empowerment and giving that gift to other people through prints and albums. Absolutely
Yes.
beautiful. I want to give you the last few minutes. The stage is yours to just share anything that you would like to share. Tell people how they can follow you, how they can sign up for your newsletters. The floor is yours.
I would just like to share for everybody to understand, not only me, but you too. You are deserving, you are worthy, and you deserve everything that's in store for you. Where you can find me is on Instagram and Facebook under Katrina Cross Photography and also Katrina Cross Boudoir.
Beautiful. Katrina, it was amazing chatting with you, and I can't wait to connect with you in other settings and on other stages. Thank you again, and I hope you have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
day. Friends, please go back and watch this. We do not talk about mental health enough. We do not talk about adversities enough. We do not talk about finding support in
Yes.
order to better ourselves enough. And this is one person that is actively doing the work. So please go ahead and follow her. Go ahead and live with her DMs because she has the keys. She has the keys. She has the gems. She's lived life, and she can help you figure out how to get to where you want to go. So thank you again, Katrina. You have been absolutely
You.
amazing.
Bye.